Hey, 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 everybody. It's Thursday, and as you know, Thursdays are interview days. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. Um, we have this just to let you know that today's interview is pre recorded. So there's no sense, there's no reason to put replay because you're going to be seeing the replay. However, I would like to know where you're coming in from. As you know, I am in Mexico, and my guest is from Canada today. And then there's one more thing that I want you to take care of, if you might. There's a strip above the video or below, it varies. Click on that strip that says StreamYard, and it will give StreamYard permission to use your name. Because if you want to interact, yes, even though this is pre recorded, you can interact with us. You can ask questions, and my guest and I will get back to you with your answers. You can make comments, which is wonderful. Thank you. And if you just want to react, then send us a lot of hearts because we love the hearts. Okay. And you know the routine. What I usually do is talk about how my guest and I met. Well, we were both students of the Project Next. Actually, we were both students of the KBB program. That's the program that Dean and Tony started. They started a new legacy, and it was self education is the new norm, and KBB stood for Knowledge Business Blueprint. It morphed into PN Project Next the following 2 years, and it was there that I got to know my guest. Now, my guest, plays several hats here. She's a mother, she's a wife, she's a dog trainer. She's a grandmother, and that is her biggest role as a grandmother. So she is on a mission. We're going to talk about her mission. And without any further ado, let's bring in my guest, Kira Doyle. Hi, Kira.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, Kyra. Tell me, you're in Canada, right, Kyra?
Yes, I am on Vancouver Island on the west coast. So, yes, it's beautiful here, and we're in the middle of summer,
Mm-hmm.
warm, gorgeous. Not too many fires, a few, mostly the other way.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
everybody's complaining about those fires for sure
yeah.
from Canada. So, were you born where you are now, or?
No, I was born in Alberta, which is the next province over, and I moved to Vancouver Island to Victoria um, hmm, 45 years ago, probably. Yeah.
That is beautiful. Victoria is just gorgeous. I was there, visited there with my mom because my mom used to live in Vancouver also.
Right.
So, and I, of course, yeah, I don't know if you know, I was born in Canada also, in French Canada. So,
Right. Yes.
but anyway, I was talking about all the hats that you wear, being a mother, being a wife, being a dog trainer, and being a grandmother, which is your greatest role. And you are on a mission. And I've been here with you for 3 years, and I knew that you started that mission. You have very, very carefully clarified your mission. So, could you talk a little bit about what that mission is and why you are on this mission?
I'm on a mission to empower the grandmothers to kind of empower their grandchildren who you've noticed have learning differences. And I started with working with the mums because I, as a mom, also felt a little bit overwhelmed.
Hmm.
My own children had a little bit of ADHD, they had some challenges going through, and I just felt isolated. I felt, like how different people didn't really understand. Now I have 4 grandchildren and 2 that I work with a lot. So basically, I'm working with the grandkids, ages 6 and 9 years old.
Okay.
I want these grandchildren to know how special they are, even though they don't fit into the box.
Well.
And by that, in a school system, in a
Mm-hmm.
social situation, sometimes not even in their own families, because a lot of families, especially generations out, don't understand or before. So my mission is to help these children become confident young adults and to feel successes in their lives. I think it's really, really difficult if you have a child who disrupts classrooms,
Mm-hmm.
who doesn't know when to say something, when not to say something, not to always feel like they need to be here, be there. So I just have got a special bond and kind of a connection with the grandkids. I think it's probably my superpower. And I know as you and I, Lucy, have talked, I'm probably having a lot of these learning differences myself. And yay! So, you know, we're not all the same.
Right.
Anyway, it's learning myself and teaching. And because I'm a grandparent, some of the mothers said, well, why would you know? It's
Right.
been a long time since your kids have been young.
Right.
And I said, well, let me tell you. And
Right.
so through different activities, through different experiences, I've been able to show them how to connect or reconnect because I find there's a lot of broken connections
Right.
in families. And it's not that difficult, but it does require that the grandparent, the grandmother in particular, spend a little special time and really understand cues with
Mm-hmm.
grandchildren
Right.
because they're not always the same. It's look at my eyes, focus this way. I love reading with the grandchildren. I love telling stories. I love being outside in nature. So I do a lot of outdoor activity, walks, swimming, hiking, biking, anything that gets them active because I've found basic components. Maybe as a dog trainer,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you, and people don't like it.
No, but it
There's
makes
some
sense.
real similarities between
Makes sense.
training your dog and training your child to
Exactly.
connect with you.
Absolutely.
And some of it is, first of all, you got to feed them some really healthy food, a
Mm-hmm.
really healthy protein. Exercise is critical
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Yeah.
And you have to give them the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I have a few others that I've gone into routines and systems in my group. That's what I basically go through. I help support other grandmothers. And so the parents will say, "But how do you know this?" I can't answer that other than I've got the experience. I know what to do. I can help.
Mm-hmm.
So I can give you some tips what to do when your child is having their meltdown. Why don't I give you that tip before they have their meltdown or before you have your meltdown? Because
Right.
that's pretty ugly too. So,
I've, you know, that would be ugly. You're an unusual grandmother, I would have to say, because there is, the wonderful thing that's happening right now with the generations is that children are knowing their grandparents and they are spending a lot of time with their grandparents because the grandparents are retired, so they have the time. But
right.
not all grandparents see that in the same light. Most grandparents see it as, oh, I'm the babysitter. My son calls me or my daughter calls me when they want to go somewhere and they want to go on vacation or they have something important to do and they want me to come in and take care of Simon. I'm talking about my sister's grandchild, because my sister sees it that way, that
Mhm.
she's basically a babysitter.
Yes, and a lot of them do. And
Hmm.
I think it's really your perception of that. Now, because I'm involved with my grandkids on a daily basis,
Hmm. It's different.
that's different.
Yeah.
It's different than taking anybody on a 2-week vacation or,
Once a week.
yeah, once a week. That's our special time.
Right.
And you're going to connect with me whether you like it or not. You're coming to my place. So we have to communicate with the parents as well, because schedules are like here and they're there, and they're like, if you miss one thing, that child could be left
Right.
at school,
Yes.
or someone's forgotten to pick them up from a day camp or a spring break camp or whatever. So it brings in a lot of challenges, and it's a different day.
It is.
It's a really different day. But I love doing this with these kids, because I just see changes and I see the light in their faces and their eyes.
Hmm.
I also notice the children who don't have that connection with maybe their mums or their dads or a
Right.
grandmother or a grandfather. And I feel really sad.
Right.
And
So
so,
it's really interesting, because you started out that because you thought you were going to help the moms,
yes,
but the moms were too busy, and it's like they were feeling overwhelmed, and you were going to help that segment. But and I've known you for 3 years, so I've seen you pivot. I saw you pivot,
mhm,
and now you seem to really understand your niche. And basically, just recently, you went from grandparents to grandmother.
yes,
And so you've narrowed down the niche even more, that
yes,
because it's really about what you've been through, the
it
grandmother,
is.
you know, and
It
because
is.
yeah, the grandfather just goes along usually.
We all have different skill sets that we can bring
Right.
into. I can't coach the hockey team because I don't know hockey as
Yeah.
well as perhaps my husband.
Hmm.
But I sure can teach you how to swim,
Right.
and I can teach you how to play other games, because that's what I do. So
And
that's
really,
where,
and Kyra, really, when it comes down to it all, I'm thinking out loud here, is you just giving the time to the child. And time, when you give time to people, that is precious. It's more
it is
precious than
precious.
money, more precious than gifts, more precious, that you give somebody your time. It's really a gift.
Yeah. It doesn't, you can't get that back,
No.
and you don't get a second chance for that period of time.
Right, right, right. So, and I mentioned that I've known you for about 3 years, because you are now part of the Launch Lab program. And and I can't remember exactly how you came into the program, but you've been with us. You're one of our founding members, really, and but very naturally, we kept saying to everybody that we are a culture of progress. Everybody at their own pace, and you just went at your own pace. Life.
I am at my own pace. Yes, I am. And that's why it's so amazing, because it's almost like I don't want it to go so fast that I'll lose any of you, because it's so good. I
Yeah,
mean, who else gets to talk to someone every day if you want, and have
right,
coaching and get the learning experience? I mean, you
right.
have to be really interested in your own self growth, and
Absolutely.
why you're doing what you're doing, what your purpose is. And I found at Launch Lab, just every day, there's just that little glimmer of light that's like, wow, I feel so lucky to have this,
Well, thank you.
and this experience. And I talk to others or my sisters, and I feel sad for them, because they're into retirement too, but it's like, what do I do now? And I'm thinking, well, here, I'm going to give you a list of 10 things.
Right.
But this is just, it's so fulfilling. And, I think of one of the things that one of my first mentors, Dr. John DeMartini, said in seminars that I've done with him. He actually used to join with Tony Robbins. They used to be a team before they separated. And he says, if you don't fill your life with what you love, it becomes filled with what you don't love.
Oh, wow. Well said.
And so I remember that. And who wants to spend their time doing or being in a place that they really don't love?
Right.
And I think that leads to so many people being unhappy,
Right.
especially as a grandmother.
Right.
I see some grandmothers feeling very sad
Right.
or depressed,
They
or
think life's over. Yeah.
that's it. And I'm going, this is only the beginning, and I want to leave a legacy. Here's what you can do.
Right.
And if you don't have your own grandchild, go adopt one. There are hundreds of kids out there that need you.
Right.
They need you. They need to have that influence and the knowledge and the wisdom and the expertise that the grandmothers have, which is, again, the different energy than the grandfathers. We need it all.
Right.
But as a grandmother, do it. And so anybody who's wanting to, or is thinking about or watching in the WOW Club, come and join us in the Launch Lab. You will not be disappointed.
Right.
And you don't have to go really fast. You can. There's always someone really fast. But there are people like me, who just little step at a time. Hello, Aiden. I'm kind of stuck here. Okay, let's review.
Just for the audience, Aiden is one of our coaches, and so there's Athena, there's Aiden, and there's Mike, 3 coaches, and of course I'm the 4th person. I'm the community builder, the facilitator of many things. So, Kira, I want to come back to, I know that you had some struggles, balancing your personal and family challenges with trying to pursue your dream, at the same time, which is what you're doing now. Can you share how you stayed committed to your mission despite facing a lot of these difficulties? And could you mention what some of those challenges were along the way?
Right. I think one of the biggest challenges was really deciding what was my niche. Did I really have something that I could give to others?
Right.
And who did I think I was? We go into that imposter syndrome. And you think, well, no, there's professionals out there and you can go to that. But they don't have that life experience that you have. And nobody has lived your journey.
Right.
And so one of, I think, the biggest challenges was, well, there's 2 that I can think of just off the top of my head. One was my husband and I did a big move. We moved from a house we'd lived in for 35 years. We've moved into an apartment waiting for a condo. And the other part of the time we go up our island and we stay in a trailer, which we adore because there's oceans, mountains, rivers, the forest. We go mountain biking and kayaking, and it's just so much fun. Those are experiences you can take your children to do, even if they have other learning issues. Anyway, that was a huge thing, just trying to organize that and not get knocked off, base, because it's hard to center when you've got boxes here and making a decision there, a move.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a move, a huge move. and it's compartmentalizing everything. And then you've got the children that you see all the time. And I go, where's the house? Where's the backyard? Where's the dog? And, we've had 2 dogs pass away since
Oh,
this move. And the grandchildren have been really connected to them as well.
mm-hmm.
And that's part of the pets that give us that sense of belonging.
Right.
And
Unconditional love too.
it's the unconditional love.
Yeah.
And so when everybody's kind of feeling off base and the schedules are here, schedules are there, it's how do you get back into your center?
Mm-hmm.
Or do I have a center at points?
Right.
Oh, what could it be? So those are some challenges, daily challenges, just, getting your own life, taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You've got self-care, and then you've got, with me, I'm very involved in swimming or biking and daily doing, it's the mental, the mindset.
Right.
And so it's helping the kids to formulate that mindset as well. I can do it. I'm strong. I'm beautiful.
Right.
I'm able.
Right.
And
The
so
role.
as I'm going through that, the kids
Yeah.
pick
They
up
watch.
on that.
They
They
sure do.
watch. And your words mean so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh my
So
God. Yeah. So, but and through that, you also had other challenges because you were starting your online business. So you did, the niche thing is a normal thing. We think that we know our niche to begin with, and then we have doubts, and then it gets narrowed down, but that's going to be continual all through your career, online career, really,
yes,
because with every event you're going to change, you're going to tweak a little bit who your niche is. So,
yes.
and people get so stuck on having to know exactly who. I Do you think that the Launch Lab Academy helps people there to overcome that kind of rigidity, almost that gets drilled into them, that they must know their niche?
Absolutely. I
Mhm.
think Launch Lab has been morphing along, changing what is working, what's not working, and then changing it and pivoting as necessary.
Right.
And just watching, for example, Mike, the one coach who set up most of the program to start,
Mhm.
watching how he breaks it down
Right.
and breaks it down. And then if that part didn't work,
Right.
let's try something else.
Something else. Right.
And what a great model.
Right.
So if I can follow it, the kids can follow it, anyone can follow
Right.
it.
Exactly.
It's easy. It's not simple because you do have to put time and energy into it.
Yeah. Nobody else can do the
But
work for you. Right.
no, you have to be able to do it.
Yeah.
And even though I've got limited time because of my commitment with the kids or other things, I just book out the time. And that's another tool I've learned is how do we block it out instead of just flying by the seat of my pants. I've
Right.
done that and it's not fun. It's non-productive and you spend a lot of wasted energy and time. And so that's something I've been able to simplify, and I do it for the kids.
Oh, it's so important. I mean, how many, I can't tell you that I wish that I had had that when I was younger,
Mhm.
organization.
Oh, me
It's,
too.
it's
Yeah.
just not taught. It was never taught. I mean, yeah, well,
Osmosis,
yeah,
maybe? Yeah,
exactly.
osmosis. No, and you were lucky if you did.
Exactly.
But there are simple ways of doing it.
Right.
Really,
Right.
really simple. You know.
I want to talk about your online business a little bit because I know you are of my generation, and at some point technology does come in, and technology can be a blessing and it can be a challenge at the same time when you're starting your online business. So, have you encountered any tech difficulties that that kind of stopped you in your path, thinking,
Oh, never.
I,
Not at all. No,
I just I just can't do this.
oh, yes. I don't know. I've been spinning around on this for this long and this long. And so after I've done that, days, weeks, then it's like, I'm going to ask for help because I know I can get the help. And it's just not that difficult. Once you get a little step, it's like, oh, wow, I've spent way too long trying to do it by myself.
Right.
Let's ask somebody. And for the longest time, I didn't think I could because I didn't want to appear stupid or dumb or unknowledgeable or old because I don't have the skill.
Right.
And now I don't care.
Well, it's so silly that we think, technology for us, we were not born in the matrix for one thing,
No.
and technology doesn't come easily for us. I remember when I first started my online business, I would get so frustrated with technology because I couldn't learn very quickly. And I thought, is it my age? No, I'm not stupid. I mean, why can't I learn this stuff? And I remember Tony Robbins saying once, if you're frustrated with technology, here's what I want you to do. I want you to take that child's mind and think about it as, with curiosity, and that changed my whole outlook because
I think that's beautiful. That is
really,
beautiful.
it helped me so much because when you think of when we learned to walk, when we learned to ride a bike, it was practice. We had to learn one little thing at a time. It wasn't
right.
We didn't say, oh, I'm giving this up. I'm just never going to be a walker or,
That's right. Yeah.
I mean,
And that's that. I don't know where we learned that it had to be fast and instant.
Well,
I mean, even thinking of Athena, one of the coaches, she's grown up with this. She taught it. She lived it. She was doing it as her job before she became this coach.
Right.
And so when I asked the same question twice, she says, I already told you that. And I'm going, well, I might be one of these slower learners. Tell me 3 or 4 times. Maybe I'll get it
believe
this time.
me, that's because I've asked her about 3 times, probably the same question. She did say to me, she says, oh, I'm so fortunate to have you on this team because now I understand my parents. And I at first I thought they were stupid, but I realized that they weren't born with this, and so it's just not natural, and so I do feel that the team works really well. I mean, we're intergenerational, and the team knows that they better pass something by me first because if I don't understand it, there's a good chance that other people don't understand it.
And that's for sure. Yes.
And I can't tell you how many times I've heard, we've already told you this. Well, I'm sorry, you're going to have to tell me again. You may have told me last week. It's not like I did it yesterday and the day after and the day after, and then I learned. And so we do have that challenge. So tell me, the Launch Lab Academy support helped you in overcoming a lot of those challenges then?
Oh, absolutely. And I just think that it's fantastic. And just any kind of question you have is just totally okay. It'll be referred to a video that has been previously or just dealt with directly. And that's the other thing is we can go online with any one of you 5, 6, 7 times a week. And you've got a question and answer.
Right.
So, some say, well, I can't make that schedule. Well, there's always one in there that you can make. Always.
Yeah.
So.
And the question thread, because you could put it in there because,
That's right.
Those
so if you're thinking it, put it in the thread. And now I'm learning to tag the person.
No, I totally understand. We had no idea. Tag was a game to me. You tag somebody.
I know, you're it, and now along you go. And it's also different on your phone versus the computer. And so I'm going, okay, well, there, I'm smarter by 2 tags now.
I know. The first time I heard "tag me," I'm going, "Tag you." Oh, okay. And you feel like you don't want to feel dumb and ask the question, "What does tag
That's
mean?"
right.
It's like,
That's right.
can you can
Yeah.
you can you tell us in it makes me laugh because it's all a journey, it's all a learning process, and for us it's not that it's slower because you know I
There's
remember,
just more. There's just more that we have to input
yeah,
into our computers
that's right,
before we go to that next step. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Can you share some specific ways in which the program has helped you grow and develop your online business? Some real specific ways for you that the program helped.
Yes. I think when we do our growth work,
Mm-hmm.
that's broken down into very tangible, doable
Bites.
processes.
Yeah.
It is. And I really like that. Now we're adding the artificial intelligence into it, which can sound overwhelming to some, but it's really quite fun. And I think approaching it with fun
Yes.
is the best part. So I think that kind of organization and that simplicity has made it really doable for me. When I first saw it, and I worked with Athena maybe a year and a bit ago, we went through flagship framework, and I'm going, what? And she had these questions, and I'm going, what? And now you've broken it down
Hmm.
so that there's a technical part and a
Yeah.
person or two or three, and there's a Canva part. And I thought, what the heck is that?
Yeah. Right.
And then what the heck is that? So it's learning those terms,
That's
but
right.
then learning those little bits of the program, just a bite at a time.
Right.
And yeah, I love that. And I know I'm making that progress. And Eden comes to mind when he says, just a little step. And I'm going, I'm doing a little step. I'm doing a little step. I'm okay.
Right.
And the next day it's, I'm overwhelmed. Take a little step here. Do you remember what I showed you here? I think, no, I don't remember. Do it again. And so, but I
It's-
don't feel, I think what I'm doing here is I'm transposing that onto the kids.
right.
As I'm not feeling that stupid or dumb doing it, I'm able to better help these kids
Right.
with their process. And I think, what a gift.
Yeah.
Because probably as that child, I sat there and thought, I can't ask that question because then everybody will laugh at me.
Right.
And now you might be laughing at me, but I don't care as much
Right.
or at all.
But then you can also understand what they're going through because because you're going through it. But I want to go back to the artificial intelligence. It just came to my mind as you were talking about it, and it's so much fun. That's because we're learning as they're learning. This is something we're learning and they're learning.
Together. I
So
know. Yeah,
so
I
it's,
know. We share it, don't we?
yeah,
It's a
we share it.
bond.
Yeah,
It's a
we share it.
bond.
So
Yeah.
as they're learning it, we can learn it too because we see them go through the process. So that's really
Yeah.
interesting. But what you
Really is.
mentioned about kids, the fact that because I don't want to say our limitations, but because of our not being exposed to technology, thinking that a question is too stupid. Remembering that you can also remember that for the kids that you work with too, that there is no question that's stupid. If a question has to be asked, it's not stupid, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because if one
Yeah,
person has a question, then you can bet your life there's going to be three or four people having the same question, thinking, "Oh, thank God I didn't have to ask." You know,
that's right. Go, woof.
yeah,
Yeah,
right.
saved by that one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I know. Could you
Yeah.
also, I want to ask you about the the building camera confidence. for business that we offered as a bonus. And now I remember the first time I did boot camp, by the way, you were responsible for that part of the program. Because I remember I was talking to you and you said, I don't know how to do lives. And I thought, oh my God, we've never even approached that. And, I took that upon myself. I didn't even ask the rest of the team. I said, okay, we're doing a
Just
boot
do
camp
it.
and I'm going to do it. And I have no idea how we're going to do it. We're just going to do it. And now we're into our fourth boot camp. And it's not just building confidence in front of the camera, but it's for business, which means that we're working on content. And there you were every day during this boot camp, which just ended 2 days ago. So tell me, um, there's one way that the Launch Lab Academy, empowered you to overcome an obstacle and enhance your online presence for sure.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
so could you tell me some other ways that they helped you achieve your goal in supporting, grandparents with learning differences?
Well,
It's a loaded question.
that's a very loaded question. I think by doing these small groups, I mean, we even had the one session where you and Mike talked about building camera confidence for business
Mhm,
and gave us tidbits. And so that gave another chunk of it, of
mhm,
information, so that it answered a lot of questions before I had to ask them.
mhm.
And so that's what I really like is I think the team is getting so good at answering
Right.
and knowing what needs to be done next.
Yeah. We're learning
So
from you back.
that's,
Yeah.
yeah, so that's been really helpful. And just the little groups. Now we're into other little groups where we meet once a week
Wow.
with another team leader,
Hmm.
and I'm with Elizabeth.
Wonderful.
And that's been great. And it's brought a couple more people into I can do it. Let's do it together. I thought you were gone. I thought you'd left me.
Hmm.
And that's really great because we all have different things going on in our lives. But this way, it keeps a connection.
Right.
And I think we're all working towards common goals. We all want to do our own self growth
Hmm.
and we love learning. And so, because we're all from different countries,
Background.
it's connected backgrounds, countries, traditions,
Hmm.
religions. I am blown away by how we find these common interests.
Right.
I was speaking with Sally last week, and she's Egyptian. She
She's
lives in
in Saudi Arabia. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia, and I was making a comment, and she said, "Oh no, it's the same here,"
Hmm.
and it's blowing my mind
Right.
because
Commonalities. Yeah.
the commonalities.
Hmm.
So what if we have a different this or a different dress or a different this? It's like inside we're all built in this loving place,
Right.
and we want to connect more with that than we do with what's not working in our world.
Hmm.
Let's have something that works for us.
Exactly.
And I find this is doing that. And then we connect to other members of the group and we're building these relationships.
Building relationships. Right. And collaborations.
Yes. And it's just exponentially growing like that.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, as someone who has experienced, the benefits of being part of the Launch Lab program, what would you say sets our program apart from, other resources available to entrepreneurs?
Well, first, you're accessible.
Hmm.
All of you are really authentic. You're very honest.
Okay.
I don't feel like there's tricks. Mind you, give tips and tricks, but that's not the trick I mean.
Right.
I
Exactly.
mean, like, here you are, buy my program, and then bye bye.
Yeah. Exactly.
I
No.
feel like everybody's available. I've never experienced that before. I've done other programs but there's been a hanging. It's like, now what? And I find that with Launch Lab, all of you provide another step. So it's not one and done.
Right.
It's continuous. It's like I find hope that, oh, maybe this week, this month, I can't do this, but you're not going away. You're
Right.
still there. And there's that continuity, and it's almost like a permanence. I think this is,
It's almost like a family, isn't it?
it is. It's a family. It's better than a family.
Yeah.
Families disappear. They go here, they go
Yeah.
there. And it is. It's really a loving, connected family. It's a sense of belonging to something, being part of something. And I think that's one of our basic human needs, is to feel like we're a part of something.
Yeah.
It's what I work with my grandkids. You're a part of this. You're gaining confidence there. Now let's take that confidence and let's put it over here.
Wow.
You're doing it. You can do it. Well done. Keep going.
Right. Oh, wow. It sounds like the program has helped you, take your vision and turned it into reality.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's gone from being just a theory in my head to actually taking steps to implement it and do it.
That's
So
very exciting.
It's very exciting. It's very practical.
Yeah.
It's not doing things that I don't want to do.
Right.
It's encouraging whatever resource I have within to share it.
Right.
And I love that. And I love, Lucy, the way you touch every person and you find their gifts and you're sharing them with everyone. I mean, it's amazing.
Thank you.
I mean, you've got such a gift with interviewing, and you're so natural at it. You're so natural. I mean, you're a great role model.
Thank you. I just love people's story. I just love featuring them. And it's so easy for me to do that. And I love to see the progress. I mean, I have been overjoyed with your progress. I just love seeing you I can see the little steps that you've been taking, and it's like, it gives me goosebumps. I mean, I really, when I think about it. Wow. So thank you very much for those kind words, Kira. I do feel like we're sisters by this time.
Oh, absolutely. We are. Yeah.
Let me ask you, for those who are maybe considering joining the Launch Lab Academy, what would you say? Can you maybe state three reasons why they should seriously consider joining?
Well, it's the best program I think that you can do online.
What makes it the best?
It's the best because all of you are so committed to having success for all of us. No matter where we are in whatever stage. I find that you make me feel like I belong. I feel like every day I've got something not necessarily exciting, but that I really want to do. I really want to go for it. It's feeding my mind, and it's keeping me motivated on what's my purpose here. So it's like having that family and the friend with the arm around you. You're doing it.
Right.
And
so the support.
The support is amazing. And there's so many groups where you can't reach someone, or you can't reach the coach, or
you have the coach once a week for.
That's right. And I mean, for some that's okay, and for some types of the programs,
right,
that's also okay. But this is really a hand holding, and if you want to make progress, this is where you do it. I've never seen anything else like it. Mind you, I'm only 3 years on the internet. I'm a baby, but I've looked at a few and spent a few bucks, and for my money, it's value that you can't compare anywhere else.
Thank you.
Just
Yeah, thank you so much for that. So, I just want to say, you're about to launch. This is so exciting. You're not too far from launching. So, what's that going to mean to you when you get to launch your own online business? I mean, what comes to mind for you? I mean, it's
well,
been such a journey for you.
it is a journey. Launching just means that I'll be able to reach so many more
Hmm.
of now the grandparents, the grandmothers, who feel like they're really disconnected
Hmm.
from these children who are a challenge.
Right,
And I want to provide that bridge in really simple steps where they can make that connection and feel like, wow, I've made a difference with this kid.
right. We are really bridge builders.
Oh,
That's a good
yes.
word.
Yeah.
You want to be the bridge so they don't have to go down the peaks and the valleys that we went through. You
Well,
know.
and nowadays there's so much more. I
Hmm.
think there's a lot of danger. And I think kids really need to have at least one safe place
Yes,
they can go to.
right,
And I think a lot of them don't.
right. Wow.
So it's kind of let's build this one at a time, let's spread it, let's get the grandmothers feeling a lot more positive about their roles and what they're doing, other than just the babysitter.
Right.
There's more to it than that. There's a
You
lot more to
you will
it.
change you will change their lives. Not only will you make a difference in the grandchildren, but you will make it. I mean, this is so exciting when you think that grandparents are in their 70s and you can impact their lives.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I think of my own grandparents.
Hmm. Yeah,
Oh,
I
we
know.
played a few games,
Yeah,
and that was fun,
yeah.
but there weren't the same
You didn't really
challenges.
get to know them. You didn't really get
No,
to know them.
no,
It was
not
like,
really.
that distance. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I know I've taken up a lot of your time. This is so
Oh,
interesting.
that's
I could
great.
go on and on and on with you because I feel like I know you and I know your program and I'm so excited about what you're doing and the difference that you're going to make in people's lives. I want to ask you a question for those people, because I know we have some people who are just standing by, afraid to take that first step. um, they feel within them that there's a mission, there's something greater than themselves, but they're afraid to take the step because they don't know what that step is or whom to trust. What advice would you give that person?
Well, first of all, I would say join the launch lab.
Okay.
Just join. And Lucy, I know you'll have information about that.
Well, actually, it's right here. It's
Okay.
here. Discover how, because we're working with artificial intelligence, because now, and this is this is something for you, because once you start launching, then we can automate you online, isn't? I mean, are you looking forward to that kind
Oh,
of?
that's
My,
so exciting.
yeah,
So exciting. And I mean, people will go, I can't, or, all the objections,
yeah.
but
It,
there's no objection here. You join it. If it doesn't work for you, you
there's
get
money.
your money back, you get your
30 days.
time back.
Yep,
I mean, you
exactly.
can't really lose. All you can do is gain maybe a little step here or a step
Right,
there and open your mind to something that's totally different.
right.
And you take whatever you think you could contribute,
Hmm.
your niche, and share it.
Right,
As you've said, Lucy, multiple times, there's always somebody out there who needs to hear
right,
what you're saying, what you're offering. And it doesn't have to be overwhelming.
right. People are looking to for the expert, and you are all the expert because of your experience. I mean, we have got to realize that our generation is a wise generation. We have been through experiences. We have a lot of knowledge to impart to younger generations, and yeah, you know,
No, and we need to do that. We all need to get in there and undo that so that it's not just stuffed away somewhere.
exactly. Don't go to the grave with song in your heart
Exactly.
or the
That's
message.
exactly.
Exactly.
Totally, that's it.
I'm
Because what do you want on your tombstone, right?
exactly. Think about what you want people to say about you once you're gone.
Yeah,
What a
that's right.
legacy.
Well, and I've had to write my own obit.
Yeah.
So try that and see how that feels. You do
Well,
want something there that you have made a difference
right.
somewhere.
You're living your legacy, which is wonderful. That's great. You're not just talking about something. You're actually
Yep,
living.
doing it.
Yeah,
Yep.
doing it. So I want to congratulate you so much, Kyra, and thank you for being part of the Launch Land program. We so love you, and yeah, and thank you for this time. I've taken up a lot of your time.
Oh, that's okay. I
You
love
could
it.
be you could
Thank
be
you.
you
Thank
could be
you.
working on your growth work or something. Athena's probably
I
saying,
know she's going, where is she? I
okay,
told her 3 times.
okay, so I'm just, I just want to say thank you again. People can reach you by going to your Facebook, and
Yes.
that's facebook.com/forward Kyra.Doyle, Doyle.10420. But you know what? We're going to make it really easy for you. After this video, we will put it in the comment down below. You will be able to reach out to Kyra very quickly and easily, and we'll make sure that if you we know this is pre-recorded, do not hesitate to ask questions. Kyra will get back to you as soon as possible. So
Yes.
thank you, Kyra, and
And thank you, Lucy.
thank you, audience. Again, if you want to figure out, if this is a program for you, contact me. And there's the information, https:// Rosa-Stagi Lucy system.io is our new platform / launch lab premium. Okay, bye for now. Thank you, Kyra.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.